So yeah, this thing's pretty late. You'll have to excuse the change of clothes. It's getting quite cold in my flat, so this was necessary. Oh, funny story. About 2 months ago, I hit 250 subscribers on YouTube, and I'm very grateful for that. People watching my video essays, thank you so much for the support. And I told you as a reward I was going to do a Q&A video, but life happened. I moved back to Scotland, and I hadn't got around to doing it until now. And the funny thing is, in that time, that 250 subscribers, as of now, has grown to 802. So now's as good a time as any to do this Q&A. We're just going to get right into it. So I've got the questions up on Twitter, and I'm going to read them out in the order that they were on the reply thing. And a lot of you asked some multiple questions, so I'm just going to answer all of them. So the first one comes from my good friend Billy Paulahan, who's now using Billy Howlahan as his Twitter Halloween pun. Ugh, him and his puns, I swear to God, he's got inside me with doing puns. If you could only meet one more celebrity in your lifetime, who would it be and why? I'm going to go with Stephen King, because everything I've heard from Stephen King just sounds like he's a hilarious guy to be with, and he's really creative. He's one of my biggest inspirations as a writer. I love most of his books, and based on what I've heard in interviews about him, like I know J.J. Abrams was talking about when they went to go see a movie together, and Stephen King was just loving it. He just sounds like the kind of guy I would have fun with, so for that answer, Stephen King. The next one comes from Morgan Robinson, and he's got a couple of them, so you're going to be seeing his little purple Twitter picture on here pretty often. Personal favorite horror quote. Now, to give a bit of context, Morgan is the horror guy, as I call him. He runs a podcast called Horror House, along many other good shows, and this is actually very tricky for me. Personal favorite horror quote. I'm a huge horror fan, and just to pick one is very difficult, but I'm going to go with the one that came from my all-time favorite movie performance, and that's a boy's best friend is his mother. That's Anthony Perkins as Norman Bates from Psycho, because I just love the sort of underlying darkness of that quote when you put it into the context of something like Psycho. Morgan's also asking, how unsuccessful do you think a silly collaboration between the two of us would be? I don't think that would be unsuccessful at all, buddy. Let's do that. I keep saying we should do more collaborations. Now, next one from Randall Sands, or as this says, Randall Sansylvania. What kind of content can we expect in the near future? Now, this has always been tricky for me because my kind of content changes based on what I think I'd be better at. So, recently I've gotten into doing video essays like The Nerd Writer and Lessons from the Screenplay and Everything from Painting and people like that. So I think I'm probably going to be doing more content on the vein of that because I like the idea that instead of reviewing movies, you can take them and you can just teach storytelling lessons through them in a way. And I think my brother's coming into my room now because he's just gotten in. What's going on? What's happening?
Oh, fucking showered. Oh!
You know what? I'm actually going to read out the next question while you're here so you can have a little reaction to it as well.
Shoot.
Morgan Robinson says, what are you most looking forward to on the Purple Dawn tour of Manchester?
What's the Purple Dawn tour of Manchester?
That's when I was going to go down to Manchester and visit him, but as we know now, because of things in life, I can't visit you in October.
Is his last name Dawn?
No, that's just the name he goes by. What I'm most looking forward to going to Manchester,
It's my fucking dinner when you're making it.
That's going to happen here.
What are you doing, tatties or fajitas?
Fajita sounds nicer. I'm just going to say seeing your gorgeous face in person. Eric Monroe at mmkoch200 says, favorite film from the 1980s. Do you have a favorite film from the 80s?
I don't know any other film from the 80s but Back to the Future, so I'll go with that.
Okay, he says Back to the Future. I'm going to say in the movie that came out the same year, The Breakfast Club.
Don't like that film.
You'll like this one. Squidward's Nose at I Am a Huge Nose. Amar, I know that's you. McDonald's or Burger King? Can I say neither? I've been off fast food for a year.
Yeah, but if you had to choose, I would definitely go Burger King. Their food is a hell of a lot more filling.
Yeah, I think I'm in the same camp. Plus the Whopper beats a Big Mac any day of the week.
And their mozzarella sticks, just, they're to die for.
That's true.
I would actually die just for 3 of them right now. I'm not hungry.
Tom Zambino asks, what was my first car? I don't drive, so probably a Hot Wheels when I was about 5.
He drives me round the fucking bend, though.
Ugh.
Snap.
Christ, you're like Billy.
Hi, Zion.
And speaking of Billy, he also has another question here. Favorite movie-going experience?
What does that even mean?
Favorite time at the cinema, favorite time at the theatre, things like that.
I fell asleep during The Fault in Our Stars, and then started laughing and got slapped.
You guys know how much I love that movie. My favorite movie-going experience, I actually had it quite recently. It's probably the newest It, because I got to see it twice, and seeing my little cousin react to it was quite hilarious. And you were laughing at every single scary part, so...
See that little shit that got his arm bit off at the front? That was just brilliant.
Spoilers for It, he was laughing at when Georgie got his arm ripped off.
Oh, what a dipshit.
Okay.
Why would you trust someone under the ground in a sewer that you've met for the first 5 minutes and he says he's a clown on a rainy day?
Because he's a naive little kid.
Oh,
and he wanted his boat back.
Mate, if my kid was that naive, I'd let the clown have him. Honestly. No, I would hand him over. I'd sign a deal with a little shit.
Go. Get out. What's the one movie that's made an important impact in your life? From the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Devin Coulson. For that, was probably Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. Probably the first movie that I ever saw, and the thing that got me into reading. And J.K. Rowling's a big inspiration to me, so I'll go with that one. Why I love movies at Yusuf Kanessa says, what is your goal with your channel, with your career, etc.? My goals are very similar to people like John Green or the Nerd Writer. I want to be able to show what I'm passionate about and be able to teach storytelling lessons through that. And hopefully that can help me get my own book published eventually. Another one from Tom Zambino says, who has been the biggest influence on your life? It's not you. It's not you.
Don't lie to yourself, Nolan.
See what I've got to put up with? I'm going to answer this in two ways. One professionally and one personally. Personally, it's my family, because they put up with my bullshit. Don't you, William?
Sure.
And professionally, it's J.K. Rowling, because her story really inspires me. Delisha Russell asks, what's a topic that I'm dying to discuss but haven't gotten around to yet? Well, Halloween's coming up, so I'm really dying to discuss some horror movies, and one in particular, I want to take a look at Nosferatu in a deeper way, so look out for that this month. And she also asks, what made me want to get into the YouTube space? Just because I'm an opinionated person and I like to share my thoughts with you guys. So William's left right now. He decided to go make a cup of tea. Now, these two can kind of link with each other, but my good friend Lexine Higgins, who's now my official writing partner now, you should go and follow her on Twitter, she's awesome. She asked me, how are my writing projects going? Now, anyone who knows me knows that I love writing stories, I love telling stories, but they're going pretty well so far. I've been working on a book for the past year called Moonflower, and for anyone who doesn't know this, I'm just going to get the synopsis up and I'm going to share this with you. And if you like it, give me a like or a comment. I love to hear what people think about the stuff I'm writing. This is what happens when you're waiting for Word to load up. So just to make this a little bit fun, I'm going to try read this in like the trailer voice. This is the blurb of Moonflower. 11-year-old Millie Robertson only read about the great adventures from beyond her bedroom window. She never thought for a second she would be living in one. On a fateful summer night, Millie follows a strange noise in her backyard that whisks her away to the strange land of Vacadio Valley, where she meets Princess Jade. Informing her of a mysterious great evil soon predicted to destroy the kingdom, Millie asks for her favorite fictional hero, Moonflower Jones, to be brought to life to save them. However, Millie will soon learn that there is more to Moonflower than what resides within the pages of her story, and it's about to be unleashed. So yeah, that's the basic synopsis for the book I'm working on. I thought it would be really fun if you had a thing where it's like a kid is meeting their hero, and rather than it's just like, oh, my hero is slightly annoying or she's not what I expected her to be, what if you turn that character into a villain? And it could be a whole little thing on how... I've seen some fan theories on the internet that try to suggest that the heroes of movies and books are actually secretly the villains, and I thought it would be really interesting to create a villain who was like that. And Moonflower Jones is probably the most fun I've had writing a villain, so look out for that. And This links to another question that I got from that guy Mike at the underscore Mike 13. This is a repeat from his Screen Junkies Universe call. And what movie would I make, produce, wish into existence with any resources? Since I just pitched you something, I'm gonna say I would make that a movie. I guess I could have Millie Bobby Brown from Stranger Things play Millie Robertson, and for Moonflower Jones, I always thought someone like Cara Delevingne would be great for that. So that's what I would do. I would make it sort of like a fun little fairy tale adventure, and yeah, that's it. Okay, so that's the end of this official Q&A, and guys, thank you so much for subscribing to my channel, and the subscribers are only going up as each day, and it's really a big surprise to me, and I thank you all so much for your support. If you want to hear more about Moonflower, or follow me on Twitter, or see any projects that I'm working on, follow me at NolanDean27 on Twitter, and that's where I post my updates. And if you like this Q&A, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys next time.